Okay, I am in a different environment, as you can see, back in my studio, and I have found my copy of the Brahms First Sonata, even with some lecture notes involved. How about that? I will keep those. Anyway, I've got old fingerings here, so let's see. A lot of them relate to the fingerings I used yesterday when I was first exploring this in an electronic and pristine version. In other words, there's a certain logic to it. I can see this better, so that's a major advantage. Admit I don't have as many fingerings as I would have hoped. I'm wanting these canonic entrances to have an obvious feel to them. I have no measure numbers here, so you'll have to bear with me. I have 2 on this A. I want that 2 so I can have thumb on the B and finish off comfortably. So, working backwards. That would work. My standard pencils with me. We'll see what we have here. Someone else's pencils. This is such a small little detail, but it's the kind of detail that needs to be taken care of. One, 2, and 2. I wanted something a little more elegant than that. That's a little too simple because it requires me to shift from the bottom part of this dyad to the top part. Too simple to pass up. That's a terrible finger. I have myself. I would never do. The new me would never do that. Obviously, the old me did it. The new me has these fancy erasers in both places, so that's very nice to be able to reach out for. remarkably fewer fingerings marked than I would have imagined, indicating that I just felt my way and knew what I was doing and that it stuck. I'm hoping it will stick even though I haven't written down a lot of fingerings here. Maybe I trust in the fingerings that were written here by, I don't know, the cover is missing. I don't know. I could research that easily enough. Even though he was 20, he could spin a good tune. Not bad. I need clarity here. There we go. Speaking personally. Because it meanders around enough. Ooh. It's possible that I never played the first ending here. It just doesn't feel very familiar. I maybe had it. I want to play the first ending because I think it's a short exposition. Because I certainly don't have a sense of familiarity about it. That would be a sure indicator that I didn't do it. Or if I did it, it wasn't standard. This editor suggests to turn the thumb on D. Okay, so the big skip, the open part of the chord occurs between G and D. And that's what the fingering represents. Oops, no it doesn't. It's to get this cluster of 4 notes. That makes a lot of sense to me. To have these 4 notes under a one-hand position. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do what suggested. This editor is saying turn to 1, play a group of 3. I could also play a group of 5. Depends on how much grit I want. The 1, 2, 3 is certainly more powerful than 3, 4, 5. But more complicated. But the other advantage it has is that my hand gets used to the 1, 2, 3 on the same notes, same keys. D, F, G. So. Does it go up? Oh, it goes up. Up a whole octave. Okay, it's identifiable. I think I will probably go with that fingering. Up here, and then up the octave. Okay. Under the hand, up the octave. Okay, a little bit of definition helps a lot. Right under the hand. Right under the hand, and then just a double octave. Right under the hand, then up the octave. And then down to E. That's it. Sailing addition. And down to E. Yeah. E. A little slower. But too much ring. Okay, let's try the second ending. Okay, so instead of octaves, into minor. very uncomfortable. I think I'll make it more comfortable. But it's Brahms at his best in having an idea that doesn't necessarily fall under the hand nicely, but sounds good. So I've got to make it feel good. And the issue is all in the left hand. The right hand is pretty straightforward. It's not that bad either. Take it alone, it never is. Just certain fingerings that I take for granted that never got written down. Whoa, what did I do? Just a flat seventh. Scared off by those courtesy accidentals. In this case, the editor wrote in these C naturals here. Of course they're C naturals. There was a C flat in the previous measure. But they made me think, oh, maybe the A's are flat. That's Dance Suite is, of course, an inherently orchestral work. It was written for the orchestra and also sort of in parallel for the piano. This one is a work written for the piano, but you can already hear the orchestral qualities in Brahms. It took him so long to write his first orchestral pieces, but he had a sense of the orchestra in his sound, I think, right from the first. And these are certainly indications, the way he uses the whole keyboard and textural elements, imitations, sometimes awkward things that are an attempt to cram a whole bunch of wonderful complexity and dialogue into this little package. Now that, for example, that's a bizarre little bit of one-handed counterpoint. complexity in this movement. So I think I need to, in my head, simplify it. Going from the other is this D major, and then F sharp minor. Well, we already know this about Brahms, but it's worth observing. So it's not in the theory books, but rather what you discover in the real world, first-hand information. It's climbing by thirds, D minor to D major, to F sharp minor, with all these common tones in this, the so-called median relation that he loves so much. To say it, there was enough of my mind on what I was having to do, so I couldn't say it other than in rhythm. That's always a teller that you're not able to execute something independently if you can't say something at the same time or ponder something at the same time. So I'm just playing this diminished arpeggio, for example. Come around the corner, play the diminished arpeggio, then resolve. There I need my thumb. Boy, he's getting complicated here. I'm not sure well, this editor is suggesting 1, 3 to 4 to 5. I can understand it makes a line. I've always hated 3 and 4 being spread apart by more than a major second or so. It happens all the time, but I could just toss my hand and go from 5 to 5, but then I still have to repeat. And next. I think that having a more comfortable hand position that you can toss, namely a nice octave position, rather than an uncomfortable one that links, provides a better link, certainly at that tempo. There's no sense that, oh, I'm playing non-legato because I'm letting go with my fifth. There's no particular musical game. If you're at ease, I think so. A septuplet, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all I have to know is it starts on C, finishes on C. But not 5. that was so gorgeous. So many fingerings I didn't write. These interesting places where he has the left hand taking over, then you run out of fingers. But at least he has you let go of the melody note, so, or subordinate melody note. These spreads between 3 and 4 I don't like, but it's okay. I've got to stop here because I've got to do a little teaching, but I can't wait to get my hands back on this. It's just the briefest exposure to it reminds me how luscious the writing is. Awkward at times, but really, really luscious. Beautiful stuff. So, we'll rejoin the fray later on.